Welcome to A Pod of Wings and Filth, where two voracious fantasy readers dive into the magical, gritty, and sometimes downright filthy world of fantasy.
In this podcast, we chat about our favorite fantasy books, from dragons and magic to the dark and twisted corners of fantastical realms.
I'm Heather, and I love me a reformed bad boy MC.
And I'm Morgan, and I think that books you DNF should still count towards your end of year reading goals.
We've got a lot of opinions, a lot of passion, and even more books to talk about. So grab your favorite brew, maybe a magical artifact or two, and join us as we get into all things magic, wings, and a little bit of filth.
Content warning: expect spice, swearing, spoilers, and strong opinions on dubious character choices. This is an adult show meant to discuss adult things, unfiltered for an adult audience. Today's episode may contain spoilers for all of the books we're discussing, so if you are not ready for unhinged fandom energy, turn back now. Otherwise, spread your wings, grow your horns, and let's get filthy.
Hello! This is a big year.
This is a big year. I read some of the best books I've ever read this year.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Like life-changing, brain-altering books this year.
Mm-hmm.
It has been good.
It's been so good. So this episode's going to be all of our top books of the year, our top 5 favorite books, and then our top 2 buddy reads that we did on the podcast. And of course, both of us have some extras because we couldn't just fucking keep a list 5 ever. It's just not possible.
That's insanity. But if we really went into a top 10, we would be here for 3 hours.
We'd be here for 3 hours. And while some of you may want to listen to 3 hours of us, we have lives and need to go do stuff.
What I loved about this, though, was that I was very thankful for the buddy reads because some of the buddy reads were my favorite reads of the year.
Absolutely.
There wasn't one I didn't like. That was so exciting. And I think the only one that we went into that we had read before, no, two that we had read before that were repeats were Bloodguard and Quicksilver.
And
that was it. Otherwise, the rest that we read all year were brand new to both of us. So we had no idea what to expect. And they were all
really good. I was going to say, there really weren't any buddy reads where either of us were like, meh, I didn't love it. No, we genuinely liked all of them. Some of them were the best fantasy reads I've ever read. Again, would have made my top 5 of the year if we weren't doing a separate category for favorite buddy reads.
Exactly. It's so hard to do. And I don't know about you, but I picked, and there is a difference. And I think most of our readers will probably agree there's a difference between our favorites and the best.
Yes.
Because
sometimes they're the same, but they're not always the same.
I feel like one of the ones that I would put in my top 5 best books I read all year will probably be in Morgan's favorites. So
yeah, probably.
I will probably point that out because I think it was one of the best books for sure that I read. But these are good and vibes and just favorites.
Oh my God. Well, and this is my argument all the time. I will always stand on the soapbox happily and proudly. A 5-star read doesn't have to be the most literary masterpiece you've ever read in your life. That's just not always the case. Sometimes that 5-star read, that was a vibes 5-star read. I was giggling the whole time. I was laughing the whole time. I was crying the whole time. Again, I have said many times, I won't give a book 5 stars if it doesn't do me emotional damage of some kind. That's how I mark a 5-star read. End of story. That's just how that works. Some of these are incredible, just genuinely incredible. But yeah, sometimes it's just vibes, man.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a literary masterpiece every time. In fact, not to say
some
that
of them were.
Some of them were. And I will go back and sometimes read literary masterpieces on repeat. I absolutely will. But I will also read a book that is vibes only over and over and over again. Having flaws is perfectly fine. It's about having a good time and escaping and enjoying it for whatever the reason is. My list too, also, I did not pick anything that was a reread for me.
Okay.
If you did, that's fine. I didn't because I had too many. I'm not going to put Lord of the Rings on my list.
No, I didn't. Oh, for your top 5?
Yeah, for my top 5.
I would say the buddy reads, one of the rereads made it into my top buddy read.
Me too.
But for my top, I also didn't count any reread. So I reread at the beginning of this year, I reread Iron Flame prior to Onyx Storm coming out, but I didn't count Iron Flame.
Exactly.
Even though I could have.
You could have. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're subjective lists, and we're picking what we like. We're having a good time here, guys. This is a party time. This is
It's just books,
celebration.
y'all. It's not that deep. It's
No,
okay.
no. And I mean, that's what we're here for too. That's the thing that's I'm so excited about all the good books is we don't want to come on here and talk about the stuff that we didn't like. I mean,
No.
it's gonna
I'll tell
happen,
you, I
but
was gonna say, I'll tell you if something shows up in a book, like if we're buddy reading a book I've never read before, and something shows up that's like, ooh, this is kind of a like challenging topic, and I'm not sure they nailed it. I'll let you know that. I'll let you know that. But I'm not just gonna poo poo on a book for the sake of getting views and clicks. Like, fuck that noise.
no, no, it's crazy. Like it's kind of the thing that's been going around over the last month about poor Kelly Hart and the Quicksilver cover, and also some of the editing stuff in Brimstone. Shut up. Okay?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Truly.
Like, do you have
Well,
nothing
and
better to do?
I had this conversation. We'll get into the list in a minute, but I had this conversation with my supervisor at work, Kara. Shout out, Kara. I know sometimes you listen
Kara.
to our podcast, but about the Brimstone reviews this year. And my argument, and I'm curious if you agree with me, is that this is the Taylor Swift effect.
Yes.
This people, especially in that first week of a release, of an album release, of a very popular book. I think this happened to Onyx Storm. I think this happened to Brimstone. That first week, people want in on the hype and they will say whatever godforsaken thing they want to say on the internet to get that click. And so if you see negative reviews, there are some editing things. I saw them. They're not that big of a deal.
No.
Keep reading, my guy. You knew what she was saying. It was literally like a typo, basically. And that
Pretty
shit happens in
much.
all books, everywhere, all the time. There's hundreds of thousands of words in these books. I think we're going to miss something from time to time. But people want the attention and they will say anything. So I won't read any hype about the books until I've read it myself. But I typically won't start engaging with that content for at least a week after a release. People just want that Taylor Swift negative attention.
Yep.
And
100% agree.
as everyone knows, I'm a big Swiftie. This shit
Yes.
happens all the time.
Yes.
People love to hate on Taylor Swift. That's a rant
If
for a
there
different day.
is if there is anything that we can say is consistent, particularly about us as a country, is we like to build things up and then knock them down. Like if anybody or anything is on a pedestal, we have to tear it apart. And it's
Exactly.
so gross and unnecessary. Like it's so much easier and more fun to cheer each other on. It
Mhm.
really, really is. And I admit I have been on the other side of the coin when I was younger doing that kind of thing too. It doesn't bring you any happiness. It doesn't.
No.
It just makes you grumpy and miserable and bitter. It's a
Right.
waste of energy. It's a waste of time. We are reading these books, most of us are, for fun.
For fun, for
We're here.
escapism, to get out of your head for a little while, to get out of the scary of the world and into a world with dragons or magic. Like,
We
it's
can
not
go on
it's not that
adventures.
deep. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like, we're just here for a good time. Stop ruining it.
it is. The term I use is stop pooping in everyone's Cheerios. It's
Yeah, exactly.
unnecessary. If you
And
don't
it's
want the Cheerios,
unsanitary. Don't eat them.
don't eat them. Don't fucking eat them, all right? We are here because we love things. And yes, there are bad books out there. And yes, there are bad things out there. Literally, last night I was reading a book and it is a pirate story. And it's
Nice.
fun. It's
Amazing.
not great. It's not a literary piece of art. It's just a good time and I'm enjoying it every night to fall asleep to. And last night I get to a really hot and steamy sex scene and I have no idea if how her clothes got off. I'm like, wait a minute, did she just have her clothes on? And he's somewhere in a position. I'm like, are they on the floor on the bed? And I completely admit it did kind of ruin the scene a little bit. But I also was laughing and going, and shit happens. And then I
Right.
just kept reading on. It didn't ruin the story for me. It was a moment that was a little confusing. And oh my God, it wasn't perfect. What am I going to do?
Exactly.
It was a good time, and I'm gonna read the next book. I'm
Exactly.
almost finished. I'm not gonna finish the next book. I do hope that I know where the parts are going next time, though.
That would be nice. Okay, before we get into the books, because we will get into the books, I promise, I wanted to give a little caveat for how we did our spoiler content warning today. We will do our best, of course, to not spoil big, giant plot points of some of these books. If they're a buddy read, obviously you should just go have read this book already and you should have listened to the buddy read already. So those are going to be on the table, fully spoilers. But for our top reads of the year, like we'll do our best to avoid, if we're going to do a big spoiler, we'll do our best to give a warning if we can. But heads up, it just might get a little unhinged. So as you
Yeah.
all know, it just will be what it's going to be.
If we want to get into something and we really do feel the need to discuss it, we will preface spoiler beforehand, and then we will give you a pause and tell you where you can pick up.
Perfect. Okay. Take us away with your first top read of the year.
My Number 5 is Five Broken Blades by May Corland.
Good
This
choice. Oh
yeah,
my god.
this was so great. It was first of all, too, look how beautiful this is. It's a completed trilogy, my
They're
friends.
beautiful.
The books are beautiful. The stories are fun. There's multi-character point of views in it. So if you don't like multiple point of views, this is not
There's
gonna
like
be for you.
4 or 5 POVs, yeah?
Correct.
Oh, so good.
You start with characters that are all not necessarily good guys or likable. In fact, they are all deeply flawed. Some of them are kind of murderers and thieves. And I mean, and they come together to assassinate the king. And I was there for every minute of it. The characters are, some of them are really fun. All of
Mhm.
them have certain mystery.
Yeah.
And you find out as you go a bit about all of them. Love
Oh,
the contrast of seeing each other from each other's point of views.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. It reveals so much more about a character. And it's an adventure. Also, it's all I believe it's based on, I think, like Korean ancestry. I might be mistaken. It is
Sure.
it's Far East though.
It's definitely Far East.
So there's a lot of that kind of content and context and description. And I love that shit. So I was there for all of that too. But it really does feel like you're whisked away to a magical, different world. There's
Yeah.
war, there's some magic, there's betrayals, there's really, really cool character development. I didn't see like anything coming. I was a passenger princess all the way for all 3 books. That's always a
Welcome to the
good
pink
sign.
side.
Yep. Hey, listen, I don't mind kicking my feet up and letting somebody else take the reins. I enjoy
Yeah.
both. This was nice. I finished the last book a couple like last month. I finally caught up and got it. It is so much fun. I highly recommend this. But if you're not into multiple point of views, that is literally the only thing that I would use as a deterrent for this. I would recommend this for anyone. I think this
Yeah.
is like an open fantasy book. There's a little bit of romance in it, but romance isn't the main theme. It's a side
No.
quest.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing that happens organically, which I love when that happens. It is about the characters and the relationships and the choices they make. And all the way to the end, it's interesting and surprising. And they continue to make good and bad choices, and there's consequences for those. And what happens is not expected at all. But the end was one of those, there is a, and I'm not going to say who or what, but there is a beautiful sacrifice
Ooh,
that
yeah.
completely caught me off guard, and it was a character that I had not expected. It was the one character that I thought would make it to the end, because that's the other thing, main characters die, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Main characters die. There are true stakes here also.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in tears. It was beautiful. It was great. I highly, highly recommend.
Yeah, yeah. I've read the first 2, I haven't read the 3rd one yet, and I agree with all of what you're saying. That was one that just it felt like it kinda came up and bit me out of nowhere, like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that was really good." Like, I just didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't expecting that, and it was great. Okay, I did mine not in order, but in chronological order of how I read them because I could not choose. So, the
That's fair.
first favorite book I read of the year was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Are you kidding me? Come on. The hype around this book was earned, deserved. The journey this book takes you on was earned and deserved and twisty and wild. Heather and I both went to the midnight release of this book. I haven't done that since I was a fucking kid for the Harry Potter books. And it was genuinely so fun to do with a bunch of middle aged and younger women. I mean, it was truly, I don't think there was a single man in
It
the
was
room.
like it was a 15 below that night too.
It
It
was
was
so
so much
cold.
fun. It was
It
so
was so
much fun.
cold, but it was so fun. Shout out to my cousin Abby who came and joined us at that midnight. It was really a cross generational experience. It was really wonderful. Also, some beautiful sprayed edges. Just, I know a lot of people had a lot of things to say about this book and the way that it ends in particular. Rebecca is notorious for a brutal cliffhanger. She has warned you. If you got to the 3rd book and didn't think you were getting a brutal cliffhanger, I don't know what you were doing, man. You weren't paying attention, and I don't know how to help you with that. This cliffhanger, I think, was the worst of the 3, I will say, because, like, damn. But I loved the way the characters evolved and changed over this book. I loved the way we got to interact with a space that didn't have magic for the first time, and we got to see some really cool character development because of that. I loved that. That was so cool. So yeah, this was, I mean, every Rebecca Yarros book I read in a year is probably going to make my top list of the year, but this was definitely a top 5 and the first top 5 I read of the year.
It's so much fun. Yeah, I know that, like, I know Morgan said it too. There were some complaints about it. I don't know. I just think they're like, they have to be personal preferences because if I picked
Mhm.
a book, and it's not that it was a bad book, but if I picked the weakest book of the trilogy so far, it would be Iron Flame. And I liked Iron Flame. I loved it.
I
I
like
loved it.
Giant
Yeah, I've read it 3 times. It's fucking great, but if I had to
Mhm.
pick one, I would say it was that one. I
Mhm.
liked that I didn't know what was happening at the beginning of Onyx Storm. I went in all these other directions that were just shocking.
Truly.
There was some big character development that happened along the way, though, and I
Mhm.
liked seeing how the growth of the characters happened in those moments. One of the things that I like about Sarah J. Maas is that you get a lot of those in between scenes. Morgan and I have talked about this many times. You get those in between moments that you don't get in a lot of these stories, and that's where a lot of the time, like, important stuff happens with our characters, and we find out, like, who
Yeah.
they really are,
Uh-huh.
and Rebecca does that too, and I think a lot of Onyx Storm is that, and it's preparing you for the end. This is the middle child, you guys. This is helping, propel us forward to whatever is coming, and I'm terrified of our
I'm really
future
scared.
because I know that she will kill people I love. She will.
I sat in silence for 10 minutes after I finished Onyx Storm.
It was,
Like,
oh, brutal.
I was crying, there were tears streaming down my face. The dog came over and licked me, and I just didn't move. I was just like, I don't my soul has been shattered. I don't know what to do.
The corpse response is an accurate response. I made them usually too when it comes to Rebecca books. I sit there and I absorb them slowly and I take my time. I didn't do that with this one. I didn't sleep for like 2 days and I called off work and read.
You did! I
I
forgot you took off work,
I know
which
I had
honestly
to
was
work.
a really good call, and I kinda wish I had in all honesty, I wish I had done the same. Like,
I
having
think
to wait through all of Tuesday, like, we did the midnight release Tuesday night at midnight, having to wait through work on Wednesday to really get into it and sink my teeth into it was brutal, and I will not do that again. I will
yeah.
call out next time.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard though. Like I don't have an in between. I either have to read it all immediately and just absorb it completely, or I will hold off reading because I'm terrified.
That's true.
And then once
I
I
will wait
start,
to read a book because of that. I did that with Brimstone. I didn't read it right
I
away
know I
because
saw he was reading it and I wanted to text you.
I was like, "I don't know, man. I think I gotta wait."
I
Okay.
couldn't.
What's your number 4 book?
My number 4 book, I literally just finished a couple days ago. So
Wow.
I am shocked that it's on here, but it is without question. It is one of the best. And I absorbed the audiobook of it, so I don't have it in my hand right now. As recommended by our friend Lisa Leahy from Pictures and Conversations at Rabbit Hole Podcast. She recommended this to me last year sometime, and I have been holding it and waiting for it. It's by Andy Weir. Yep.
I know what it is.
Project Hail Mary.
I also haven't read it for the same reason.
My God, it was beautiful. Okay, there's a reason I read The Martian earlier this year. I loved the movie. I've watched the movie on repeat
So good.
so many times.
So good.
I prefer absorbing science fiction on screen, whereas I prefer fantasy when reading. That does not mean I don't love science fiction. I still love science fiction novels
Fantasy movies.
and
Mhm.
love fantasy movies, but that's usually how it goes. I read The Martian this year and it was spectacular, great. And so I've been waiting. And this month I've really needed like a cheer up. I've been doing like motivational memoirs.
Wait, so you read Project Hail Mary?
Yes, and
Isn't
it's
it
yeah,
is
bad
it
stuff.
hopeful?
Yes, in its own beautiful way. And it's the thing I like about Andy Weir is he does things really different than other science fiction authors. What he does that Michael Crichton did really well is making science interesting to me.
Mm,
Like, I want to know why this does this and this works. If you're telling me, well, I need this to make this, normally I'm bored out of my fucking mind. It's like magic systems. I don't need to know how it works. Just tell me that it works.
just tell me that it works. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He tells me how it works in a way that I'm like, I'm so interested in it.
Wow.
All the quiet moments, there's a lot of isolation in this too, which also The Martian, same.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of isolation in it. This man has gone out into space to save humanity from an algae that is gonna kill the sun. Just a teeny
The
tiny
sun.
the sun, it's sucking up energy from the sun.
That's wild.
It's so
Okay.
wild, and it's
Uh-huh.
such a different take. Usually our ideas, our monstrosities as humans is to think of these violent aliens that are gonna come do war, and well, of
Yeah.
course, because we're humans, that's what we do.
Mhm.
So, when in reality, this is probably much more likely.
Yeah.
And
Funny.
yeah, so I'd say like the first third of it is mostly him in space. His whole crew has died. and he doesn't know how or why. He's the only one that survived. No one's ever gone into space and done such a mission before. This is all experimental. And then it's like The Martian too. So he's not completely isolated. You're getting flashbacks. He's getting his memory back too. He's forgotten his name and who he is. And then he finds another ship out there, and there is another alien species, and they find ways to communicate. All of that alien species has also died, and he's there for this algae because it's doing the same thing to his solar system.
What?
They're advanced in different ways than
That's
humanity.
twisty.
Yes. And this is the part that I love so much about it because it's really, really about relationships at the end of the day. He's like kind of like a spider-like creature too. There's nothing bipedal or anything familiar about him. They
Nice.
eventually find ways to communicate. And over time, they're there for so long together that they learn each other's language.
Hmm.
And then
That's
they
cool.
start to develop a friendship. And I love that Andy Weir's main characters are always deeply flawed. They are not perfect humans at all, but they are always really good people.
Mm.
And there's always like a little bit of levity. There's always some really good humor there too. And it feels so
Right.
natural. Usually listen to audiobooks on a little bit faster speed. I'll go like 1.2 or 1.3. I just can't
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
with the readers. I'm like, it's in real life. My brain goes fast. I need you to keep up.
Mhm.
This one I didn't. It was like 16 hours and I just absorbed all of it here.
Wow. I
Was
have heard a lot of reviews say that the audiobook performance of that book makes it worth listening via audiobook more than just reading it on the page.
100% agree. I
Mm.
would not, in most cases, I do not recommend that. I usually recommend reading the book first before doing the audio in most books. The only other audio experience I've had, and I've done about 100 audiobooks this year, that was better was Andy Serkis doing Lord of the Rings. And that's very biased. That's very
Sure.
biased on my part.
Sure.
So
It's just because you also love that story.
I love the story and I love Andy Serkis. So, but this was, and
That's
Ray
so good.
Bradbury was wonderful. There was no, again, there was no rush, but I didn't want to be in a rush. I loved every single second. The
Mm.
ending was completely unpredictable and wonderful. There was a moment where he had a choice to make, and if he chose the one, it would not make him a bad person, but it would have made
Mhm.
him the same person he was when he left Earth.
Mm.
And he makes a choice, and that is what defined the whole thing. I was in the
Cool.
kitchen. I was in the kitchen doing something, and I'm literally jumping up and down going, "He did the right thing!" And then I was sad because the right thing had really bad
Sad.
consequences. So I was happy and sad at the same time, and everyone in my house is going, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, no, yes, no, this is awfully great." So wonderful. I recommend this to absolutely everyone. Everyone.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Age doesn't matter whether you like science fiction or not. I think you'd love this.
Mhm.
Just,
It's just
it's a
good.
beautiful, it's so good. It felt
Mhm.
good. I needed it, especially this week. I really, really needed it. It was great.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
And so unexpected. I'm so glad I saved it.
Yeah. I think they're making a movie?
Yes, with Ryan Gosling. And I did not expect him to play the main character very well, but now I think that he probably will do a good job.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't wanna see
Interesting.
the movie now though because I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna ruin my story."
You're gonna ruin it. I mean,
Gonna
that's always how I feel. I am such a book purist when it comes to that, that if I have seen a movie or a TV show, I can't go back and read. If I haven't read the book, I can't go backwards. That's just not possible for
Well,
my brain.
I'm
I
the other
can't do
way.
it.
I prefer to see the movie or the show first because the movie or the show almost, not always, but almost never lives up to the book. Almost
But
never.
also that's why I can't, because then I'm picturing what you did as opposed to what the author of the original story intended. And so I can't. Anyways, I digress. Okay. My book number 4. Again, these just went in order of reading. I cannot categorize my children. I can't do it.
Totally fair.
I went back into a very familiar world that tore my heart out all over again. So I read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is a prequel of the Hunger Games trilogy. So there are 2 prequels now. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That one was good. That one is, this shouldn't be a spoiler. These books have been out for a very long time.
Yeah.
That book is President Snow's origin story,
Mm,
which is really good. It's just a little interesting. Not my favorite one. Sunrise on the Reaping is Haymitch's story. So this is the story of Haymitch's games, and it ripped my heart out through my mouth and stomped all over it. This is a story you've already heard about. Like, in the original trilogy, they talk about Haymitch's games. You get Haymitch's story of it, basically. But this is the whole thing. And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful to be back in such a tragic world with characters that you love, characters you don't quite understand, and then you learn more about. You find out a lot about why Haymitch is the way that he is when he finally gets to meet um, Katniss and Peeta, right? There's just so much in it. And it's not very long. It's not a very long book. I think it's only like 300 pages or something.
I love that we
300,
think
400.
300 is not a long book.
Yeah, I know.
But that is true for us.
It's true. I mean,
When you
this is
read
like
fantasy,
2
that's not a
nights.
long it's not a long book
It's
when you read
not.
fantasy. It's just
And
not.
like, this is 2 nights of reading for me, basically. It's just so good. This was one where it was like an immediate 5 stars for breaking my heart in half. Like, just immediately.
I love that.
Hmm.
I liked The Hunger Games.
Hmm.
And
I love The Hunger Games.
I think maybe I missed my timeline a lot because I think the people that I find that are more attached to it are definitely more in the realm of your
My
age.
generation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Yep.
sure.
Morgan and I are about 10-ish years apart. I loved it. I liked them, but I never felt compelled to go back to that universe.
Mhm.
However, you are not the only person that I have heard rave about this book in exactly this way, just mad love and being utterly destroyed. It has made me want to read it. Also, Hamish was my favorite character. So,
Well, because he is sort of that you love a Han Solo rogue kind of guy, and that's kind of who he is. Like,
yep.
you love to hate Haymitch in the original trilogy. In Sunrise on the Reaping, you just can't hate him. You can't do it. It's not possible. I'd love to see someone try.
Well, and this is an explanation for how he turned out the way he did. And I love that. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
you
It's
guys
so
have
good.
all inspired me to at some point. I will end up returning for that. I don't know, but the President Snow story, maybe.
Yeah.
That one I want to read.
Yeah. They did make, or I don't think Sunrise on the Reaping has come out as a movie yet, but they are making it. It will come out. And they did do Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as a movie as well. Okay. Give me your number 3.
My number 3 was another surprise. I have been
Ooh.
holding off on reading this one for a while, and Morgan
I love
will
how we hoard these books. We're like, I can't read it yet. I haven't earned it. Or I don't know. I'm
Yes!
so delicate about it. It's
I
just so
was
funny.
warned by you and a couple other people that I trust that this would be an emotional journey. So, and also I had read Madeline Miller's other book, Circe, and it was fine. Morgan has a lot of things to say about it. And one day I
I
think we
do.
should. I think one day we should because I'd love to hear it. It was fine. Like fine. I didn't hate it, but it was fine.
Yeah.
However,
This
I
book.
didn't know how she was going to be able to do what she did with the Song of Achilles.
Song of Achilles is next level. It's so good.
This book is so beautiful. It is so utterly, absolutely beautiful. I had no idea that my heart craved this.
Right? Right?
Absolutely none.
Like, I needed that in my soul, and I didn't know.
Yes, we went on a trip this summer. I read this entirely on the trip, the family trip. We drove from Detroit to Niagara Falls. And I finished it right before we got there. And I am sitting there sobbing hysterically. And I mean, fucking hysterically in the car with my son and husband. And they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like,
No.
"No, I'm never going to be okay again. I'm glad we're going to this magical, beautiful land of Niagara Falls because I need a pick me up." Oh my gosh. And I have always been obsessed and loved Greek mythology.
Yeah.
The second I was introduced to it, I'm like, "Oh, this is for me. This is everything I love about it in such a different, beautiful way." And a story that I knew, a story that I am very, very familiar with,
Mhm.
told to me so differently. I am not going to tell you anything about it other than just
No.
read it.
Read it.
Just
Well, and in the event that anyone out there is like me and didn't love Circe, read Song of Achilles. It's
yes,
different.
this is not the same. I'm shocked it's even the same writer, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and you and I read them in different orders, which I do think impacted my reading experience. So
Yeah.
I read Song of Achilles first and was blown away, literally shipwrecked. Truly. My soul was adrift after reading that. It was so good and so heart-wrenching and so beautiful. And then I read Circe and was heavily disappointed.
It's very
Whereas
angry.
I think if I had read them in the order that you did, I might not have hated Circe quite so much
I
because I
think
had
so.
such high hopes for Circe and it did not
Circe
meet my
is very
expectations.
harsh, but I liked the twists and the takes on some of the traditional stories aspects of it, and I thought that was really cool, but no, there was no emotional
Yeah.
attachment to it like there was for this. I have
Yeah.
rarely been devastated in such a way, and I was twice this year, once by Rebecca with The Last Letter and with The Song of
Song of
Achilles.
Achilles.
Absolutely, utterly devastated in the most
It's
beautiful,
so
best way.
good.
It's one of the
It's
most beautiful, beautiful stories I've ever read, period, end of discussion. We talked about lifetime best books we've ever read. That's on my list.
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
I'm glad I waited. It was the right time. I'm not sure Mike and Adam agree. I don't know. Mike's used to me coming out of whatever space I've been reading in and going, okay, so do you want to know about
Okay.
Patrick too?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm
Where I'm
gonna
like,
tell you
are you
all
gonna
about this.
are you gonna read this one? Because Patrick will read a lot of the books that I read. He read 20 books this year, by the way.
Good job, Patrick!
I'm
That's awesome.
so proud of him. Shout out, babe. You fucking nailed it. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm like, are you going to read it? And he'll be like, I don't know, maybe. And I'm like, okay, because it depends on how much I rant to you. Because I can't give you spoilers if you're going to read it. But then I'll be like, and this person, and then my heart, and it hurt a lot.
It's so true. It's so true. I do hey, I have to explain this to you, so just give me a minute, and then I'm gonna tell you why I'm so upset, okay? And then I suck in, and then I just let it all out. Just like that.
To love a bookish woman is to love all of her craziness and all of her nuances.
Percent. Thank you, Patrick and Mike. You're great husbands.
We love you.
All right. What's your next one?
Okay. My book number 3 is a standalone. Shout out to Lauren at Book Huddle. If y'all don't follow her on Instagram, what are you doing? If you need bookish recommendations, she's the best. She was like, I just need you all to read it. And I was like, well, okay, I'm convinced. This is Blood Over Brighthaven
Yeah,
by ML Wong.
I've heard nothing but love.
Holy shit. Don't typically love science fiction-y crossovers with my fantasy. And I don't know that I would say this is science fiction, but it certainly has a science-y element to it, to the magic. And also there's some social justice stuff in here. If you want to feel some rage about the way our world is, you're going to want to read this book. Reading this changed the way that I rate books.
I love
because like I didn't realize I had read a 5-star book quite like this until I read this. And it was like, if I could, and I don't like doing this, but if I could give it 6 stars, I would. It is amazing. The storytelling is visceral and vivid. The world building is really beautiful and incredible. And you and I both love this. When the world building is intertwined with the story as opposed to separate, this. And again, it's not real big. She's not a big chunker by any means. And yet, this is a beautiful standalone novel. I feel like I know what the world looks like. I know what's going on here. I understand the hierarchies at play. I understand some of the science and the magic, and also a plot twist and a female main character who interacts with the plot twist in a way that gives you hope for humanity. Like, sort of like you were talking about with Project Hail Mary, like this gives me hope for the world. And especially with such a social justice theme that you don't think that there could be hope for the world in it, similar to the Hunger Games vibes, you know? There's a theme arising in some of my favorite books, I guess. But yeah, this book changed the way I rate books. It's incredible. It blew me away.
That has 100% been on my list since you read it because of your reaction. That right there. But everyone I know, and this is people I know in real life and also my book people that I follow, have said exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I follow book people, like I follow some dudes that do like a lot of science fiction stuff. They have read it and they said exactly the same thing. So people with different preferences kind of books in general,
But
everyone likes it. Everyone.
I agree with that. I think even this is one of those books where I would recommend it to anybody. I also think, and this is a hot take because I think y'all know I don't love Brandon Sanderson, but I think if you are maybe a male reader who loves you some Brandon Sanderson, I think you would like this book too.
I think that's a good recommendation. I've actually heard similar because one of the science fiction bros that I like, he loved it.
Give me your number 2. I can't believe we're getting down to the end. This feels wild.
I know. And I feel like I'm cheating on other books. But I love that you are bringing up a bunch of really cool ones too, and I'm surprised we have no overlap yet, and I don't think
I
we're going
know.
wait, this one you might.
Okay.
Ta-da!
I
When
didn't read that this year. I read it
oh,
last year, so it doesn't count
okay!
for my 2025, but it would have if I had read it this year.
We are going to have totally different lists then. That's awesome. That's really cool, actually.
That's amazing. That's
Yes.
shocking to me.
So you guys are listening instead of watching. I am holding up. Sorry about that. I am holding up When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker, Sarah A. Parker. My God, this was so unexpected. Again, like all of these have been unexpected.
Mhm.
Morgan, I saw this on Bookish Girls stuff,
Mhm.
but Morgan had read it and she immediately told me, "You're going to love it. This is you."
Yeah, yeah.
She was 100% right. I love this story so much. I wanted to have babies. I
I
want to
mean,
make babies with it.
how many lists have we done at the end of our deep dives, which if any of hopefully all of you have listened to our deep dives of Carissa Broadbent, where we've talked about our top favorite fantasy men in whatever category, and how many times has Convagor from that book been at the top of the list?
We bring him up whenever we have the opportunity to do so.
Every single time.
Every single time. And he's great, but he's not the only great part of it. Literally
Uh-uh.
all of it is. First of all, our main female character, she has a mouth on her like me.
Yes.
I felt seen in this with her. I felt her and Thea from Legends of Thesmar.
Thesmar.
Those were two characters this year that I read, and I wanted to put that in my list too, along with like 10 other books. But but I felt like, "Oh gosh, thank you." There's like almost a release sometimes. We read a lot of books where the female main character is she's young or naive
Yep.
or inexperienced or in situations where she has to keep a tight mouth all the time. And for me, that can be exhausting. Like even with Ceres in Quicksilver, like it's bad the way she runs her mouth. There are consequences, but my God, does it feel good to hear her say all the things?
To say the things you want to say.
Yes. Yes, yes, knowing that there's consequences attached to them, but we get that here too. She doesn't
Mhm.
care about the consequences. She is completely and utterly reckless, and I am here fucking for it. That's how it seems in the beginning.
Oh,
There is big, big world building. This is high fantasy, my friends.
yes. I would call that, yeah, high fantasy, epic fantasy for
Yep,
sure.
yep.
For sure.
This takes its time creating the world, delving into the characters. There's tons of mystery. I feel like we've only touched the brink.
Scratch the surface.
Yes. Here, I don't feel like we've even really gotten into it. It is also very unlike any other story I've read, but also there's a lot of familiarity there. At the same time, somehow it manages to do both.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere I expect it to, and I am
Love that book.
uninterested in trying to solve it at all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to be there for it, and I'm terrified for everyone involved here.
Yeah.
And there are also people that I want to suffer, and I can't wait for them to suffer and get their comeuppance. And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
dragons, and you guys know how I love dragons, but the dragons are kind of an afterthought until like
They
a
are.
while.
Well, and then you realize how big of a player they are, but in a way that you like couldn't have known until you get the reveal that you get. There's like it's hard not to spoil this book. I think we mentioned this. I don't remember if we were recording when we talked about this, but the second in that series, which I have no idea how many books are going to be in that series, but the
Either.
second one comes out in 2026 and it is our shared top anticipated book of 2026.
Number 1, 100%. And we are excited about many, many books next year.
There are going to be so many good books next year. I just know it.
It's so exciting. I love having
Yeah.
all of this to look forward to.
Right?
So, this might not be for everyone if you are not a patient reader. I have to say, it might not. If high fantasy, epic fantasy is not your thing, this probably is not for you. But I would still say give it a try because it's so good that it may pass all of those typical barriers that hold you back from reading something like this. It is wonderful. Like, I wish I could go back and read it for the first time again.
I would pay a lot of money to erase it from my brain to reread it again.
Yeah.
Like if that was science accessible to me, I'd consider it
I'd sell my
deeply.
ovaries. I would do that anyway, though.
Using them? Well, that's
I
not
don't
true.
want
I
'em.
need them for my hormones, but you can have all the eggs and
I don't want my
salmon.
hormones anymore either. Just take it all, please. Okay, I'm being melodramatic. It happens. But you get my point. All right, what's your next one?
Okay, my book number 2, number 4, whatever order we're going in, my second to last of the top 5.
Morgan's Collective Love Fest.
Yes, this was a book recommended to me by Patrick that I think I told this story when I was talking about reading the second in this series this summer. He walked into a bookstore and we've been reading together a lot more. And he found this really beautiful cover. I also was struck by how gorgeous the cover was. And then we realized when we got it home, he picked it up. He was intrigued in the story, wanted to read it. When we got home, realized, oops, that's book 2. We got to go find book 1.
Yeah, that's a shock.
So,
that is a surprise
yeah.
one.
So this is the only science fiction novel that made it into my top 5. This is Rabbits by Terry Miles. And this was you came up and bit me and won't let go. I love time travel stuff. And I will say this is some of the most creative time travel I've ever read, ever. The characters are both likable and unlikable at the same time. I would say the characters are similar in energy to me to Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, where you like them, you don't like them, you like them, you like them. My God. And the coolest part about this book that I didn't realize until I think I realized it when I picked up the second book, because I put this down and immediately picked up book 2. And was like, well, I can't. I literally spent an entire weekend reading these.
I was going to say, you consume them really fast too.
So fast. The second book is called The Quiet Room. So good. The coolest part of this book, I put down book 1. Patrick was out of town. I'm texting him. I got blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking about the main character. And I used the pronoun he. And Patrick texted me back and goes, you mean she? The main character in this book is genderless. Not gender nonconform, like not they, them. This character is genderless. And it took us both a minute. I was like, I Googled it to be like, did we miss? How did we?
That's so
This
cool.
character is genderless. The only reason that Patrick thought maybe she versus he, and I will say the author is a male to my knowledge.
Terry could be yeah, Terry.
The audiobook is a female narrator, and Patrick reads immersively. So he will read the physical book while listening to the audiobook at the same time.
Yeah.
I do too. I think he reads books in more depth because of it. I think it's a beautiful hack if you struggle to read. But oh my God, that's the coolest thing I've ever experienced. Like
you didn't even notice it.
Had no idea.
Cool.
Had no idea. Picked up the second book and got to have like almost a whole new experience because of the realization that the main character is actually portrayed completely genderless. So you get to, I mean, if you want to put a gender on them, you can. You don't have to. I think it reads beautifully either way. There is absolutely like, holy shit, this book jumped up and bit me in the ass. Like really swept me away in the coolest way. It's a really beautiful mystery. I really can't explain more without spoiling it. There's like a little bit of a cult aspect to it. So if you're into like behind the scenes cult stuff, again, I love time travel stuff. The time travel in this is so creative and new. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
I am so excited. I wanted to read it before. Now I'm even more energized too. That is so fucking cool. I love that you didn't notice it. That's
I had
even
no
better.
idea.
That's so great. Like,
I agree.
How brilliant.
Well, and that was like a whole, like truly a like, oh, now I like really have new appreciation for the author. That's hard to do.
Really hard.
That's so hard to do. How do you do that?
I don't know. I literally just wrote. There was a sequence I wrote in the manuscript I'm working on right now. And there's an assassin that's trying to kill one of my main characters. And I didn't want it to be clear whether the assassin was male or female, because in this world, it doesn't really matter. So I didn't want it to be clear whether it was male or female. And it was really hard to do.
It's hard.
It was really hard to do. And I'm like, God damn it.
Right.
So I'm impressed as a reader, but I'm even more impressed as a writer. So well done, Terry. Well done.
Yeah, truly. Sure. Well, and if you ever read it, I'll be curious.
I will read
how that goes.
That one's on my TBR, along with many others, but that's closer to the top with Bloodhaven in there too.
Yeah.
Many others, because I know.
Okay.
I know. But when you get excited, those definitely go to the top of my list.
Yeah. Okay, what's your number one?
I don't know how to do this briefly because this has changed my entire identity and brain chemistry, and I think Morgan's gonna know what it is. It is Red Rising.
Yeah.
It is Red Rising. My God.
Mm,
I was not prepared for this shit. Like, I had heard some people on the interwebs, like, what I was getting and I was surprised about it, what made me pick it up was a lot of the readers that I follow, a lot of the bookish people were mostly fantasy, were
mhm.
reading it and going, "I don't usually do dystopian science fiction," but and they were calling it, like, the Hunger Games in space, which a little bit, a little bit.
Sure.
There's
Okay.
that element. Like, you could take so many elements from so many things and put it in this though, and it makes sense. It's a mashup of just tons and tons. This is Red Rising, everyone, by Pierce
By
Brown.
Pierce Brown,
By Pierce Brown. I
who is a
now a
very
follower.
young man.
Yes,
Like,
he's
I think he's my age. I
I
think
think
he's in his
so.
mid-30s.
Yeah, he's great too. He's just like a nerd like the rest of us. He's just kind
I
of a
thought he
nerdy
was like
British
an
guy.
old dude like Brandon Sanderson.
Nope, nope, he's not. And when you read it, you will understand that he is a young
Mm,
man.
mm,
You really will, because one day I know
nice.
that you will read this, Morgan.
Yes, I will.
But
I will.
I read it, I had done the Lord of the Rings trilogy, listening to the audiobooks by Andy Serkis in January, and I'm like, "I have to follow up with something kinda strong or really weak because you can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that." I grabbed
One
these.
end of that spectrum
Yep.
or the other.
I read the trilogy in 1 week, and I have not been the same since. Now listen, there are 3 more books after the OG trilogy. You can read the trilogy, and you can call it a day if you want to. Then it jumps ahead 10 years, and that's when we go to Iron Gold. I still have not completed it. I have not finished the next 2 books because I can't. I'm so terrified. It is so bloody damn good. It has all the things that I love. It has epic science fiction fantasy. It has all of the great world questions about humanity and who we are as a people that a lot of science fiction goes into, but it gets really gritty and ugly about it.
Mm,
All of the characters, there's always the big questions of, are we doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, or are we doing the wrong thing for the right reasons? They overlap constantly. Like
I
if our
love those morality questions. I think that's one of my favorite things, especially about sci-fi, but dystopian sci-fi, is that there really isn't always a one right answer. And like being able to explore that feels really cool.
it is, and the stakes are constantly, constantly high. There's not
Mm,
there's not an ebb and flow here. It is we have our foot on the gas pedal and there is constantly every line means something. Everything is important. And there is constant death and sacrifice. And it is and even the characters that are villains, I mean, I can't tell you how many times our boy Darrow is like, I want to give this person a chance, or I am going to do this. And I'm like, that is going to kill you or it's gonna kill someone you love. And it usually does.
no.
But it's one of those where it's like you're doing the good thing, but it's gonna end bad. And you need to be the bad guy here. And I'll be honest, sometimes we're rooting for him to do war crimes.
Hmm.
We really are.
That's
And that's
wild.
it is. And I find myself going, I don't know if I'm a good guy or bad guy. Like I'm questioning myself so often reading it. And I can't like one of the characters I end up hating the most, which my friend loves, and I
Mm,
love that. She loves
mm.
him. And I'm like, he's a bastard. I love him now. I love him
Oh,
now. And the women in this are fucking fantastic. They
nice.
they are great. They are powerful. They are strong. They are smart. They are equals to the men. There's non-issue with that. This is about classism more than it is about anything else, which I think we all can understand.
It's well, and also it's dystopian sci-fi.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
But it is never ending, the sacrifices are never ending. There I for some people that want romance, there is romance. It's about there's relationships, really more
Hmm.
than anything. Friendships too, friendships,
Yeah.
family turning on family, loyalty, Sophocles, a genetically engineered fox that we all love.
And made your top fantasy animal list.
Yes, yes, and I am happy to announce for anyone who's listening to this that I follow Pierce Brown, like, obsessively, and he announced that in the next book, the only character he will say doesn't die is Sophocles.
Same with Rebecca Yaros. Like,
No,
broccoli
broccoli
is
say
safe. I'm not gonna kill the cat.
you need to know those things though, and apparently so does everybody else. But I even
Uh-huh.
recommended this to my dad to read. It's a different perspective. There is a sense of youth to it, and I think something that's a little bit more culturally relevant right now too. I think it's a great representation of where we're going. with understanding where the world is now from the perspective
Mm.
of someone, yeah, like our age and younger, of saying, "Hey, things are broken, and maybe this is where they'll end up, maybe they're not, and maybe this is an exaggeration of what's happening too." But yeah, it's so,
Uh,
so good. I am terrified of these books, you guys, terrified of them. I have Dark Ages here, and I have the last
uh-huh.
one, and I'm just like, I don't wanna
I'm
read them.
not ready.
I'm
I'm not
so
ready.
scared. Also, there's 2 different audiobook versions because I went and did both this year. This is what I'm saying. This should explain to you exactly how much I love it, that I've gone through this much.
You've basically read it 3 times.
Yep, both audiobook versions are very good, but there is a graphic one
Oh,
with tons of actors. Please spend the extra money. I just use my Audible
worth it.
credits. It is so worth it. It is so cool. Like I was saying about Project Hail Mary, where there was no speeding up, same thing with these, totally worth it. I was having space battles in my ears while I'm walking around cleaning the house. It's so great. This is one of the best experiences I've ever had reading. And yeah, just I think the last time that I was, like, this blown back, and I'm even more so here, was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's been on my list for a while and will continue to be until I'm ready, but probably in the new year.
Yes. Oh, yes. It'll suck you in. I think you'll enjoy it, Morgan, I really do.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
another one.
sure I will.
I think that even if science fiction, I know you like dystopian stuff, though.
Yeah,
I think if
I do.
even that is not your bag so much, you you'll like it. All
Okay.
right.
You
I'm
ready
ready
for
for your
my
last
last
one.
one?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think it's gonna be a surprise to you, and I don't think it's gonna be a surprise to any of our listeners, but my most recent top 5 book of the year is Brimstone by Callie Hart. And this one squeaked in. I mean, this was only released a month ago in
Yeah.
November. Holy shit.
Yep. Total
Right?
agreement.
And, like, we did Quicksilver as a buddy read in preparation basically so that we could reread it together before Brimstone was released, which was a great hack, by the way.
I was glad.
If you ever need to reread a book before the next one comes out, buddy read it with your buds. It's gonna be a fun time. Brimstone was great. Book 2s are hard.
Yeah.
Book 2s in any series, especially fantasy series, I find to be really hard. You either nail it or you kinda don't and it's good enough and you stick around for book 3. I didn't think so. I thought Brimstone stood on its own beautifully. I won't spoil it, but talking about whether or not an author will kill the pet or the animal,
So many times!
so many times it was unclear whether or not your favorite furry animal, who I will say, and this is not a spoiler, y'all. Again, I'm not telling you whether or not Onyx dies, but there are a lot of clues on this book. This is the inside of the dust cover. There are a lot of clues that maybe Onyx may be in peril during this. She left it all over.
She sure did. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Exactly. And I loved the way that the characters developed deeper relationships with each other
Yes.
in ways that did not feel forced. They did not feel painful. There were some, like, Carrion getting to know Kingfisher and Kingfisher getting
Favorite part of the whole book is the barring.
absolutely
My God.
so good.
When he hugs him.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Talk about getting to read. And I will say, some of the men in these books, in Quicksilver and in Brimstone, are genuinely red flag men. Like,
Yeah.
they're just red flags. But getting to read them engage with what I would call positive masculinity as opposed
Yeah.
to toxic masculinity was so beautiful. And it was really moving. I cried a lot reading this, which is a good indicator for me. That's going to be a 5 stars no matter what. And not just because of death or dying or risk of death and dying, although that certainly also got me too. And Callie Hart, I don't know what you got in your food source or your water source over there that makes you write some fucking twisty endings like no one I've ever read before. Damn, girl. Damn what you got over there, because this was amazing. We talked a little at the beginning. There were some negative reviews that came out about this book shortly after it was published. Fuck that noise. Absolutely fuck that noise. The criticism of this felt disingenuous and felt like it was not actually about this book. It was about what people wanted this book to be,
Yeah.
as
I
opposed to
think
letting Callie write that story.
I think a lot I didn't hear a lot of content actual criticisms. There were stupid things.
Mm,
I didn't hear
yeah,
a ton. I didn't hear a ton. I have
right.
not honestly, because there was so much BS about the editing and that kind of thing, I have kind of avoided reading or listening
Which
to
is
what other
honestly
people have
a
said.
good call.
Yeah,
That's a
because
good choice.
I loved it just like you did. It was very
Yeah,
close to making my top 5. If I didn't have some of these, like, mind benders, like, Project Hail Mary just came in and shocked me.
exactly.
Yeah, I loved it just as much as you did. I think, like you said, the part with Kingfisher and Carrion, what a great adventure, first of all. It was so much fun. This book was a lot of fun. There were a lot of adventure. I love
Yeah,
adventures.
yeah.
So much fun. But the way they got to know each other organically and we got to see the other sides of both of them. Especially I mean, I think you probably did too. I really, really enjoyed Kingfisher's POV.
Yes,
Because
getting
he's not
his
crazy
voice.
anymore too. He's not
He's not
crazy.
crazy anymore.
He's not crazy anymore. He's crazy about our girl, Saris, and so am I, so
I will say, I think that is something that will always skyrocket Callie Hart up a few notches for me. That girl, she not afraid to write an explicit scene
no.
and really go there. Like, she's gonna go there. She's gonna explore it. I loved it. There was dream sex in this. My God.
I have a thing for that shit too. Yes. Oh my god. And that's the thing too, like, sometimes I feel like once the stories, like, big epic stories, because that's what this is, there is a lot again, this is a second book. It is preparing for what's happening. There is not like a lot of huge, huge arcs here. This is we're developing the world and the characters to prepare for what's coming next. And sometimes when you have a story like that, you find the authors are kind of shoving those steamy scenes in because they feel like you need to have them, which I don't think you always do. These did not feel that way. This felt completely natural how much these two desired and wanted each other.
And to further that, and I think release is a good word for what I'm about to say next. There's some people criticize with her that her steamy or sexy scenes go from 0 to 100 really fast. And I don't disagree with that. I think that is true. I just don't think it's a criticism.
I don't either.
I think it's indicative of the release that they need.
Yes.
When they are finally alone with each other, there's like we've been holding it in and all
That's
of these magical bonds are really making me horny for you.
That's why it feels so good, like, and it's
It's so
they
good.
acknowledge it too, they even
They
acknowledge
do.
it, and sometimes I get anxiety when I'm like, "They're having sex and there's probably bad guys in the woods over there. What are you doing? You guys are gonna get attacked because 'cause you're boning." But that's not the case here at all. Although they are always in some type of danger. That's the
Of
other thing
course.
that is another thing that pushes the story forward too. Is there a big, giant, big bad in this one? Not
No,
really, no.
not really.
But the stakes are always high. The stakes are always high, more is always happening, and you're constantly learning, and it's exciting, and it's fun, and we get to see more of the world, and you get to learn about more of the characters, and it's just I like Morgan. I loved the shit out of it. I
Mm.
will reread these a lot. I will continue to. And yes, we have some red flag men here too,
Mhm.
but like we were talking about earlier, number 1, with Kingfisher, there was a reason for his red flag
There was.
behavior.
Mhm.
I mean, that does
Mhm.
not mean that it was okay for him to
Doesn't
do the
excuse
things
it.
he did, but
Yep.
there was a good reason for it. And now
Mhm.
that that obstacle is no longer there, we don't see that anymore. We just don't see it. And Carrion, I think that there's a solitude to have been
Yeah.
the only Fae in a world without magic, which that part's so interesting too.
Mhm.
Like all the shadows in Zilvarin. Oh my god, that was so cool. But Carrion, I really sensed his loneliness and his
Yeah.
isolation this time. And we didn't get a point of view from him, but I think when we were observing from Kingfisher's point of view, we saw it the best and the vulnerability that was there. And I think that's why Kingfisher softened to him too. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was beautiful. It was the best.
It was gorgeous.
It was the best part. As much as I loved the rest of it, and I do, it was 100% that relationship between those 2 men that I thought was so great.
Which what a cool, right? What a cool thing to have happen
Yeah.
in a story. I don't know if this is true, but this is certainly how we talk about it fully is that romantasy is for women, right? Like it is
Yeah.
especially romantasy written by women. There's not a lot of romantasy written by men, but romantasy written by women is just for women. It is the female gaze, it is intended for a female audience. And it's one of the things we have come to love about these stories is that it does cater to our preferences and our needs and our desires and our wants. And for this, in such a big release like this, to actually be about the softening of those 2 men and about the relationship that is built between them, That's so cool. Like unexpected on so many levels.
Expected them to continue to have tension between them, and I anticipated it because it's a really good comic relief that
Oh,
between the 2 of
Carrion is
them.
the best comic relief.
He's so wonderful. But that didn't happen. Like, when Kingfisher called him Carrion and said, "You're coming with us," I was like,
Mhm.
"God, I'm gonna cry over this happy, like, very simple moment
Uh-huh.
on this book that is just so much fun."
It's so good.
It's so good. I had a feeling it would be on your list. I'm so glad
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
was.
Okay. Now we'll do our top 2 buddy reads for the year.
This
Take
was
us away.
this was really hard
Yeah,
because
we read good books.
we did, but I'm gonna pick our Bloodguard!
Bloodguard.
Bloodguard. I love this book. I've read it 3
It's so
times
good.
now. It's so much fun. This is a book that is a vibes read. It totally, absolutely is a vibes read. It is just a good time. Even Morgan loved it, and it was
Loved it. It's so
and
bloody and so gory. And I did
yes,
not think I would like it, but I loved it.
and it was a book that I picked up because I loved the cover, and I read the back and I was like, "Oh, gladiators, sold."
Done.
That was all it took. It was just so much fun. I loved the characters. The story was cool. Our friend Cece has told us that there will be another book, and she is putting her editor through hell.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that. And I'm also terrified because I've
Right.
never seen anybody kill as many beautiful, lovely characters.
Truly. With complete, like just full.
The Estrellas. I'm never going to get over that.
I will never be cured of that pain.
Yes, if you have not gone through some of our other episodes or joined our buddy reads or done anything, I highly, highly recommend this one. Whether this sounds like your jam or not, it is so, so great. I can't.
It's good. It's fast paced. It doesn't feel like a long, strenuous read. Not that those are bad, but if you're not looking for that, this is a really good, I think it's a really good quick one.
Yep. And it feels like you're done when you're done.
Hmm.
It feels like you're completed. We're excited that
Hmm.
there's going to be more. We're
Yes.
excited. But if this was just it and it was a standalone, it works brilliantly as that too.
Hmm.
Loved it. What about you?
Okay. My number one favorite buddy read is going to be unsurprising to anyone, especially hearing how I just talked about Brimstone, but it is Quicksilver. And this was the only reread on my top list of the entire year. That's just fucking good. It's just so good. She does such a good job. I did finally get my hands on the gorgeous brand
Silver.
new covers for both of them. It was a fun episode to record because it was a really fun book to read. It's an adventure. I love the characters. I like the world building. Like we talked about this in the episode, so if you've listened to it, I apologize for repeating myself. I like surprise vampires, apparently. I like surprise new magic being involved, and apparently I'm really into it. And there's surprise vampires in here. And then the vampires end up being not at all what you think they're going to be.
No, it's so cool. It's just
It's really cool.
fun. It's 3 times I've read it now, and it gets better every time. It gets
Every
better
time.
every time. I love books like that. It's just a good ride. And it's not just a good ride, it's like legitimately good. So is
Oh, yeah,
Brimstone.
yeah, yeah.
These are
The
not.
adventure is great. The
Yep.
writing is great. The character building and the world building is really beautiful. And creative. I think we talked about that a lot in the episode, and I stand by it, especially with Brimstone. But particularly, I think they pair really beautifully together. There's just some creativity in here with the magical world and the way you're presented to it that you're like, oh, I've read a lot of fantasy books and I've never read that before. That's really fucking cool. And it was good. Like, it didn't just surprise me, it just also was good.
Yes. Well, that's the thing too. It's not just vibes. It's
Mm-mm.
not just cool shit. It's not just good romance. It's everything together.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What's your
And
number 2?
And this also has all of those elements. Shield of Sparrows. This is not going to surprise anybody who listened to
I'm
that
so
episode.
proud of us for picking 4 different books.
God, this is so great. And the best part of this is too, we love all of the books we're talking about. Like, everything you brought up, I love, or I'm excited to eventually read.
Shield of Sparrows was good.
This was. I just loved how different it was. And to be fair, I will let you guys know when we recorded our episode, I was like, who is Devney Perry? And she's written all of these things. She's written like 20 books. So what did I do afterwards? I went and read an entire series. And
You did. You read a whole bunch of them. Didn't you read
yeah,
like 4 or 5?
7. 7. It was the whole series, and they're fun. They're fun. They're not like deep stories or anything like that. Those are just a good time. I don't know how that woman and this woman are the same, to be honest. And that's not criticizing her
No,
fun books.
it's just magical.
It's just magical because clearly I enjoyed them. I read the whole series and I love them all. But this is high fantasy stuff too. This is
Yes.
big, big world building here. This takes its time to develop its world. The monsters are original and different and cool. The mysteries are continuous and overlapping. You're constantly learning, but while you're learning, you have more questions, but it doesn't feel like we're rushing to the end to find any of these things out. I love the characters, and I say I love the characters knowing full well that the main female character point of view that you're going to be really annoyed by her for a while.
Yeah.
You're going to like her, but you're going to be annoyed by her. Like, why don't you ask the right questions?
Right. You'll get there with her. You will get there with her.
You will.
And
It's a
also
journey.
talk about a book too I'm so excited about in
Yes.
2026.
Yes.
Right of the Starling, I think is what it's called. And I just know it's going to be great.
Terrified and excited at the same time, like I am about so many of these. I'm absolutely terrified. My guts are turning. And the last 50 pages of this book is another one where you're like, oh, I think I've kind of got some of this sorted out. And you're like, oh, and also
No.
death.
Death. A lot of death. Sad death.
Sad death. And there's also a lot of funny in it too.
Mm.
And I really, really like our main male character too. He's good. He's
a good one.
Yeah, he's up there. I like him a lot. So yeah, this one, awesome. All right, your turn, Morgan.
Okay. My other favorite buddy read from the year, I don't think is going to surprise
I
you,
knew that was gonna be yours.
but is Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. And again, talk about another book number 2 I'm so fucking excited for in 2026. I don't know when The Knave and the Moon is coming out, but I'm on bated breath waiting for it. Rachel Gillig with this book became a permanent must buy. If you write it, I will buy it. Period. End of story. This is poetry. This is funny. This is witty in a lot of ways. This is devastatingly sad. Talk about female rage that doesn't know where to go. It doesn't know what to do with itself. A side character made out of stone that is my favorite side character of the year. Gargoyle took the cake. Absolutely took the whole thing. My God. And then the way that the story is told, finding out whose point of view it is from the whole time at the end is heart-wrenching and so beautiful. Rachel Gillig, I want to know what goes on in your brain. And I want to go on some of your little reading retreats in the woods that she's always posting on Instagram with her
I would love that.
other author friends that they like go to these beautiful cabins in the woods. I'm like, I want to come. I don't write anything like you do, but I want to come. I'll be a beta reader.
You could
I'll pour
exactly.
your tea. I loved this so much. It really was, I thought it was funny in a way I wasn't expecting it to be, but the comedic relief of it didn't take away from the like heart-wrenching beauty of it, which I think is really hard to do and really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so good. This was a great one.
It was very, very unexpected for me. And it was very different. And that was such a breath of fresh air. A lot, I mean, in fairness too, I could say that about a lot of our buddy reads this year. There's not necessarily Shield of Sparrows is very, very original.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't repeat ourselves very much.
No, we really didn't. And even the stories that were supposed to be like other ones, like Direbound,
right, was totally original.
Yeah, it was Fourth Wing coded, sure, by just like the energy, but that's like, I think too, if you like Fourth Wing, you'll probably like Quicksilver. They're not even close to the same story, but if you like one, I think you'll like the other. This Direbound fell into that category too. I mean, there was just a lot of really, really cool books this year.
Yeah.
So much fun. And I'm definitely on for Rachel and V.E. Schwab now too.
Oh yeah. I mean, really it was a toss-up for me between Quicksilver and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. If we had done top 3, they all would have made it. And again, like you said, I loved all the books that we buddy read, and I'm buddy read, whatever.
Buddy read. Yeah, I like it.
I just feel grateful at the end of a year to have read so many good books, good stories, good characters, beautiful, heart-wrenching, and also uplifting and inspiring. Like, I learned a lot about myself through the books that we read this year. I learned a lot about you. We learned a lot about each other. Like, I love the journey we've gone on with this. And it's really cool.
It's been so, so, so much fun.
Hmm.
This is what, like, Morgan and I would try and do in our spare time with each other. With
Yeah,
each
now
other.
we record it for all of you.
We just go on unhinged, or our husbands would hang out, and we'd be in the same place 3 hours later after they
And like
left
forget
us.
to go to the bathroom and forget to eat meals.
Even in my house, we tend to, just kind of plop down. There have been a couple times where we've just been sitting on the kitchen floor and, like, "Have you considered moving?" "Hey, we're in the middle of something here,
Yeah,
sir."
don't interrupt. Thank you very much.
"Yes, please bring us drinks and snacks, though."
Please bring me snacks. I'm hungry. Yeah, a really hard to pick two. Do you have any honorable mentions for the year?
For the year, some of the ones you had, definitely Onyx Storm and Brimstone
Mhm.
were up there for me. So was The Legends of Thesmar, the whole series.
Oh, because you read that this year. I read that last year. Again, otherwise, for sure, say I would have been on here.
Yeah, yeah, so, so great. For me, the Book of Azrael, that series, so bloody damn good. Love it, love it. And then there's another series, it's not a fantasy one, but I'm telling you, it absolutely changed me in a way that I didn't expect, and it is The Boys of Toman by Chloe Walsh. You think
Is that a
reading it.
hockey one or a mafia one?
No, neither. It's, there yeah, there it's she's an Irish author, and it takes place with a bunch of adolescent teenagers that go to this private school, and they're big rugby guys, they're all on the rugby team. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
exactly, which is awesome, but you think reading it, like, I'm reading it because so many people said how great it was, and I'm, like, watching people melt down over it, I'm like, "Okay, I have to." I read the first one. This is not for the weak of heart. It is some of the most realistic portrayals of real, true, horrible things that families and teenagers go through. It will hurt you.
Tearing up just thinking
I
about it. I
know.
haven't even read this book. Wow.
All of them too. They devastate you. The last one I just read, I just finished releasing 10, and I have never had such difficulty reading a book because I know that this woman has experienced this or is close to people that have experienced all of these horrible things. It feels so sincere, so real. The writing is great. And I will tell you, as much as I cried and was devastated and felt my insides just destroyed, I laughed my ass off regularly too. Like, the
Nice.
relationships with these characters are so beautiful. And when you read the first two books, Finding and Keeping 10 or 13,
Okay.
those
Uh-huh.
two, they're you think when you get to them, you're like, "Oh, I can't do anymore." And then the series goes on and you see it from the other characters' perspectives.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd recommend it to. I just need to talk about it. I
Mm-hmm.
just need to talk about it.
Those books are so hard where you're like, I need someone to have shared this experience with me, but I don't know who I would actually recommend it to in terms of like, this is a good book for you to read.
No idea. No idea.
Those are hard.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and, like, legitimately so. The realism is on another level, but the writing quality is incredible. The characters are so three-dimensional and real, and I love them.
Nice.
Alright, how about you, Morgan?
Okay, I had to restrain myself. So I decided to only do two honorable mentions, and they go in the same category of the best plot twists I read this year. And truly, if they had been like if we had not kept the top 5 list to 5, I probably would have put them there. So number 1 will probably not surprise you, Metal Slinger by Rachel
Yeah.
Snyder.
Yeah, that was a good time.
And again, another book. I am so ready for book 2 in 2026. Please bring me Light Wielder. I need to fucking know. That was like a full pants moment at the end that I just straight up did not see coming, could never have known. The book itself is good. Like, people rave about the plot twist. The plot twist is amazing because you don't see it coming and it's incredible. But the book itself is really good. The story, the characters, the way they're building relationships, just that plot twist changes everything at the end. I am not the same person I am before I read this book.
No, I was looking for it because I knew it existed, and I was still completely floored.
There's no preparation to be had for that plot twist. And that plot twist comes at the very end,
Literally, like, on the last couple pages, that's it.
truly. Uh, and you're just left. I'm just standing on a cliff, hanging on for dear life.
Yep.
Anyways, my second best plot twist of 2025, and I don't have the book with me. I have the dust cover because my cousin Chris is currently borrowing it. Shout out, Chris. I know you love these books. Is A Curse Carved in Bone by Daniel L. Jensen.
Yeah.
It is the second book in the saga of the Unfated. This plot twist comes about halfway through book 2, and book 1 is great, unequivocally great. A Fate Inked in Blood. It's Nordic inspired. It's a good story. You have some twists on some old gods. Incredible. Book 1 is a 10 out of 10 recommend. I recommend that to anyone. It's just good. Book 2, you start book 2 and you're like, okay, I understand where we're going. But the beginning of book 2 is a little slow.
It is.
Not in a bad way. I think it is good. And it's good that you kind of slow the pace down. You need a reprieve. Then you get about halfway through and you get to this plot twist and it changes everything. I truly fully book on my chest laying in bed was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know where to put my hands. I don't know what to do. I don't know, where do I go from here?
Nope.
What
Daniel
do I
Jensen,
do?
she don't mess around.
She doesn't fuck around.
Nope.
Holy shit.
And when that happened too, I'm like, how are we going to complete this? Because this is a duology.
Uh-huh. And so we only have half of one book left to wrap it all up. And one of the other reasons this book would have been on my top list if the other ones weren't so great and we didn't keep it to 5, aside from the plot twist, I love the ending of it.
Yeah.
Because it is not a traditional happily ever after. It is a happily ever after because they get what they want in the end and they get what they most desire in the end. And I won't spoil it, but I'll just say the way they love each other at the end is beautiful. Like they really, truly offer themselves the most realist seeing of each other in offering that happily ever after. And I fucking love that. I thought that was beautiful. You just don't see that in fantasy very often. We have criticized many, many times the happily ever after, the epilogue where she's pregnant or they're getting married, or that is the happily ever after, that they finally did this thing. That is not the case in this duology. Not at all. And that is a completed duology. 10 out of 10 recommend. So good.
Right
just so good.
there with her. That was one I was like, oh, because the first one puts you through it. There's a big twist at the end. There's a betrayal, and there's several betrayals actually.
A lot of betrayal.
There's a lot of betrayal. Yeah, and they continue throughout. It's very difficult. And I admit too, the second one, when I started, I wasn't mad at it being slow, but I was getting frustrated with our main character a bit. And there was a couple times I'm like, girl, don't make me throw the book. Don't make me throw the book. And that's not always a bad thing. I need to say that too, because there's been a few times where, I mean, we felt that with Shield of Sparrows too, like, because sometimes they have to go through it.
Exactly. A lot of people make that argument about Iron Flame. And I'm like, no. Violet needed to be like that.
That was the intention.
It was the intention. I think it's reflective of sometimes their age in some of these books. If you're going to have a young female main character, she has to act young sometimes. She can't have the wisdom of age if she's not old enough. And you have to sort of like this is like maybe my most Gen Z thing I say. I'm like, you got to let that author cook. You got to let her cook. You got to let the story go, you know?
We can't, especially when we are a bit older. We've had some experience in life. Of course, we can see these things. This is also why I would like to, and I do bring this up a lot, I would like to see more fully developed women who are a bit older. Yes. And we've seen it in some books where we're like, oh, this is a smart character. She understands all these things. She's emotionally mature. Carissa does this perfectly. Yes. The age of the characters isn't really a marker of who or what they are in her stories. There's emotional intelligence. There's also wisdom with the characters that have developed. So you can still have stakes and you can still have those things. I would really love to see more of those books. I really would.
It's one of the reasons I love recommending, I talked about it in our last episode, Sword Heart.
Yeah.
By T. Kingfisher. That main female character, she's like in her mid-30s. And it also doesn't mean she doesn't make stupid mistakes still.
That's exactly it.
There is a lot of very real, like, you can still be human and make mistakes and struggle with these things and also be more fully grown than a 16 or a 17-year-old girl, you know?
There are different things that you have to overcome as you get older. You have just as many things, trust me. But the things that you had to deal with when you were younger, those are no longer such big issues, and you can face them and deal with them because you have experience with them. Like Morgan said, Mistakes are continually made. It's
They're
absolutely fine.
normal.
Sometimes you make them because you're older,
Yeah.
because you're more set in your ways, because you think you know a lot. I mean, that can also be a hindrance. Like, so I would love to see that, but I stand by defending a lot of the characters. Like Morgan said, I'm one of the people that was like in Iron Flame going, God damn it, what? You are being very immature. Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, right. You're 21.
It's your age. It's your age and your experience. I need to calm down. Like, I had to have that conversation. I did that with myself in my head. So I got there because I love the story and I love Violet too. I really love
Yeah,
her.
she's great.
But that's
She's so great.
intended. And some authors will say as such. Rebecca will come out and be like, no, no, no. Like, we heard her defend Dane forever. She's like, he's like 23 years old. Give him a fucking break. I
And
hear
his
ya.
best friend just did the scariest thing she could possibly have ever done. Yeah, you might make some stupid mistakes. And again, he gets a beautiful redemption arc. That's
Yep.
neither here nor there. Okay, wrapping this up.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
So I have been trying some new, like, crazy person thrillers.
Okay.
Meaning I've been going down the Lisa Jewell hole.
Oh, okay.
They're good. They're really good. But oh my
Gotta go.
gosh, do they screw with you? But yeah, so I'm doing like one a month because I like
Okay.
them. I like them, but I can't do a lot of them at a time. So I also had from a friend of mine recommended Mad Honey by
Oh.
Jennifer Finney Boylan. I don't even know what it's about. No
I
idea.
don't know a lot about that, but I have heard
Nope.
that many times, but
Same.
it's
Same.
been on my TBR for like 4 years, I think.
Yep. Yep. The person that recommended, she's like, oh no, I went through all the Lisa Jewels. If you like them, this is even better. All right. What are you reading, Morgan?
I am reading Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. This is another prequel, but it is a novella. She's a little tiny one. It is another prequel in the Roots of Chaos series. So Priory of the Orange Tree and The Day of Fallen Night. So good. And I found a new bookstore that I'm in love with here in Pittsburgh called White Whale. And this is a signed copy. And like,
So
I just
exciting.
stumbled upon that shit in the shelves. Was like, I
It
love it. I
happens.
haven't
Authors.
read it. It's sprayed edges. The insides are gorgeous.
It is
There's also a little bit for the first time. This is new for this book versus some of the other ones. There's actual artwork in the book that's
I love
really gorgeous.
that. She always
Yeah.
has beautiful covers and beautiful art on her books. She really,
She does.
really does.
If you like, I would recommend Samantha Shannon to anyone, especially like if you like big epic fantasy, but also if you like a little bit more sci-fi style fantasy. The Bone season is really good. I've read a few of those. I need to read the rest of it. And I think it's unfinished, so I don't know how many there will be, but it's just really good. I love what she has done with the Roots of Chaos is she wrote one original story, The Priory of the Orange Tree, and then she goes back in time to give you more depth. So both Day of Fallen Night and Among the Burning Flowers are prequels. I think honestly you could read them in whatever order you wanted to, and that is a hard thing that I would not normally say about any other fantasy series. I normally have very strong opinions about what orders you should read stuff in. Don't get me fucking started about the tandem read in Throne of Glass.
No, we literally just like melted down for 20 minutes before we even started recording about that. We were like, we should probably be recording this and like it would be a 5-hour long show.
It would be a 5-hour long show and no one needs to hear me be that angry.
I do. I like it.
About a book series. But I think that's something really cool that Samantha Shannon does that I think is really hard to do, to be able to write a series that you could read in whatever order and not feel spoiled or confused or what's going on. The way she does world building is really immersive and really cool.
She's a beautiful writer. She's an absolutely beautiful writer. I love Prairie
It is
Orange Tree. It's a lot.
There's a lot of prose, I would say. So if you're not really into that, maybe that's the only thing I would say, but it's beautiful. Okay. Our next episodes are going to look a little different. So welcome to the end of season 1 of A Pod of Wings of Filth. We are, yay! We are going to be taking a few months hiatus. Please keep an eye on all of our socials. We will be back. And if you have thoughts and feelings, we would love to hear from all of you listeners about what books you would like us to read in the future. So please let us know.
And that's been our show. Stay filthy. Your host, producers, and audio sources are Heather Baxendale and Morgan DeRocher, who somehow make this show happen with a combination of enthusiasm and emotional damage. Our theme music is Magistar by Kevin MacLeod at Acompatech.com. You can find A Pod of Wings and Filth on all major streaming platforms and our home base at Podomatic. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at APodOfWingsAndFilth for updates and fun content. And don't forget to check the show notes for important links. If you're loving the pod, please give us a follow or drop a rating. Your support keeps the magic alive and helps other romantasy readers find us.